Want to shop? Atlas is integrated with Etsy and Shopify. Need a hotel? Atlas talks to Expedia and Booking.com. Every query is a potential transaction, and OpenAI gets a cut. So it's not just reinventing the browser, it is quietly rebuilding the internet's business model. And this has clearly spooked Google. Minutes after the announcement, Alphabet's shares plunged by 4.8%. Alphabet is Google's parent company. They lost as much as $150 billion. And you can understand why. Right now, Google dominates 90% of the search market. It's a monopoly. Atlas throws up a new challenge. And Google is trying very hard to pivot. It has introduced an AI mode that offers AI summaries for searches. So Google too is trying to reinvent itself, but OpenAI is not the only challenger it faces. Just a few weeks ago, Perplexity AI launched Comet. This is another AI native browser. Comet is minimal and acts like a research assistant. While Atlas focuses on execution, Comet prioritizes organization, organizing all the information and helping you reason better. That's what it does. There are other players too, like Opera Neon and Microsoft Edge Copilot mode, all hoping to give Google a run for its money. But can they replace Google and Google Search yet? Well, let's be honest, Google Chrome is a juggernaut. It's not just a browser, it's the gateway to Gmail, YouTube, Docs, Maps, and the rest of Google's billion-user ecosystem. For most people, it's the web itself. ChatGPT Atlas is just getting started. It will likely attract the tech-savvy and the curious, but replacing Chrome, well, that's a marathon. OpenAI has just taken the first stride. The finish line could still be years away.
Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point.
Well, we've got all three just for you. This is First Post Live, a brand new show, your window into what really matters.
Don't miss it.
Priya added a hotel to her flight, just because it had a floating breakfast. Expedia, made to travel.
Nobody cares about you in the corporate world. Not your manager, not your team, not even
Unlock 7 day of extended limit on messaging, file upload, data analysis, and image generation on ChatGPT Atlas. और देखते हैं ये कैसे काम करता है. वो ChatGPT के साथ ये लिंक है. नाइस. ये ब्राउज़र है ChatGPT Atlas. ये खुद में अपने आप में ये ब्राउज़र है. ओके, नाइस. I'm feeling
It's
good.
3 hours.
तो क्योंकि मैंने ये इंपोर्ट किया हूँ अपने गूगल क्रोम का, इसकी वजह से मेरे गूगल क्रोम पे जो भी बुकमार्क थे वो यहाँ पे आ गए, और चैट जीपीटी जो भी मैं वहाँ पे पूछा हूँ वो सारे यहीं पे मुझे मिल रहे हैं. सर्चिंग ब्राउज़र मेमोरी। तो ये ऐसे आंसर कर रहा है, इमेज रिजल्ट फॉर योर फाइंड मूवी एंड सो रिसेंटली। इमेज रिजल्ट भी अच्छा है, वीडियोस। हाँ, इसे कुछ पूछते हैं नया। हाउ यू आर डिफरेंट फ्रॉम अदर वेब Very perfect for explaining what ChatGPT Atlas, the version of ChatGPT we are using is, and how it different from the normal web browser. Here's how I can help you and how Atlas differ from regular browser like Chrome, Safari and Edge. अब इससे रिलेटेड मेरे को कंटेंट दे दिया है और इससे रिलेटेड हम सर्च भी कर सकते हैं। ChatGPT Atlas browser is live. Here's a top 7 feature that बहुत सारे वेबसाइट से कंटेंट फेच कर रहा है। उसके अलावा इमेजेस इससे रिलेटेड मुझे देगा। और देखते हैं ये वाला इमेज। बढ़िया है। ये इमेज हम डाउनलोड भी कर सकते हैं। बहुत सारे रिलेवेंट इमेज जो है ना वो दिखा रहा है यहाँ पे। ये तो बिल्कुल ChatGPT के साथ मिल गया है। OpenAI web browser ChatGPT Atlas in 2 minutes.
Disappear until November 1st and do this instead.
ChatGPT बात
So, this is how I became the most dangerous person in the room. One habit changed everything. I replaced social media with microlearning. Now, instead of wasting
OpenAI has just launched their very first browser, which they're calling ChatGPT Atlas. And as you might expect, ChatGPT is built in. But in addition to that, there are a ton of really cool features. First up, in terms of what you're going to be able to do with this that is different than a typical browser, is you are going to be able to ask with natural language about your own proprietary documents. Say, for instance, if you're logged into Google Docs, you'll be able to access things in those particular documents, as well as ask instructions like being able to summarize, edit, or actually take actions on the website. Next up, in terms of the UX, so there is the home screen where you're going to be able to ask questions with natural language, but in terms of how they broke it out, so there is the home screen, there is the So like the 10 blue links, so to speak, there are the images, there are videos, and then there are also news results. There is also sort of an augmented ChatGPT experience as a part of the browser. And when you click on any of the links, you'll immediately have that conversation history as a part of a way that you can interact with the different sites. Now, in addition to that, what you can do is as a part of having ChatGPT within the browser is say if you want to update the text within something like an email, like you see here, you can go ahead and do that. Or if you actually want to have the agent go and take the context of what's within a document or what's within on the page and go and take further actions, you can go ahead and do that. But here's an example where they're planning a haunted house party. And what it's doing is based on the guest list, we're going to go and we're going to search for a particular recipe. And then what it can actually do is it can get all of the ingredients from the page and then go onto Instacart and actually select and interact with the website from the browser actually clicking through and adding all of those relevant items that it came up with within the list like you see here. All in all, there's going to be a ton of different ways on how people leverage this type of thing. Now, if you are interested in trying this out, it is available for Plus as well as Pro users, so you will have to have a paid account to try this out. And at time of recording, they are rolling this out to Mac OS with plans to release it to Windows users in the future. Let me know your thoughts within the comments below. Will you be using a browser like this? Otherwise, if you found this video useful, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Otherwise, until the next one. It's within a document or what's on the page for a particular recipe. And then based on we're planning a haunted house party. And what it's doing is based on the guest list, you can go ahead and do that on the page and go and take further actions. You can go ahead and do that. So here's an example where they're planning a haunted house party. And what it's doing is and actually select and interact with the website from OpenAI has just launched their
Hi, welcome to another video. So, OpenAI has looked ahead on over to ChatGPT, which gives you extended limits to all the features for 7 days. I did it here because I don't really have a ChatGPT subscription. Now, this is what opens up. First of all, make sure that you go to the settings here, and then in the data control, which gives you extended limits to all the features for 7 days. I did it here because I don't really have a ChatGPT subscription. Now, this is what opens up. First of all, make sure that you go to the settings here, and then in the data control, you can go to the improve model for everyone option and disable it. This way, your data will not be used for training. It is enabled by default, which is a bad move. Anyway, this is the main page. Here, you can type in your questions, add files, create images, and so on and so forth, as you basically already do in ChatGPT. You can also do speech-to-speech talk. The interface of tabs and stuff is pretty slick here, not gonna lie. On par with Dia. It's actually extremely similar to Dia in a ton of ways. So, there are two kinds of modes.
काफ़ी अच्छे से summary
There's a
provide कर
general
रहा है ये।
chat mode, and there's a non-chat, agentic mode that can do tasks for you. If you've used a browser like Dia, which is something that I almost use daily, it gives you an option to basically go to any page and then chat with AI with the context of the page. This is one of the only features that I use Dia for. It's such a good option, because if you want to understand something on a page, like a research paper, then it can help you out. Comet never really
अच्छा,
worked for me.
जैसे ही ये चैट में ले आया
Its
ना
agent system
वीडियो
was not
समरी
good
एंड
for
टाइम,
anything
तो
for
इससे
me,
रिलेटेड वीडियोस
and
और
wasn't
सारा
great at all.
कुछ इसी से रिलेटेड आएगा
Anyway,
जो भी आप
so
पूछे हो
that is what you can
न्यूज़
do
भी
here
इसी
as
से
well.
रिलेटेड
You can go to any page
ओके
and then ask it to summarize anything, and then use it for summarization, understanding something on the page. This is a super good option, and I use it very often. One feature that I use in the Dia browser a lot is the skills option, which allows you to basically save prompts as slash commands that you can mention in the chat and use it to do some simple flows. Like, you can create a skill for writing a tweet about a research paper, or find interesting video topics from a page, and similar things. It's a really great option. Comet doesn't have this, and OpenAI's browser also doesn't have this. In Dia, you can also customize the system prompt and stuff, and I have a lot of things dialed in there. It's one of the tools, after Obsidian, that had me really hooked, but OpenAI's counterpart doesn't have that, which makes me not switch to it yet. That is actually mostly it, because the ChatGPT features are the same as in ChatGPT's interface. Here, it also does the same thing. One thing that they told is that its search interface is cleaner now. So, if you ask it something like, what's the sentiment around one battle after another movie? Then it will go ahead and generate a response with GPT-5 with search and tell you about whatever it is. You can also sift through the search results through the tabs at the top, like images, videos, and stuff like that as well. It's pretty good. It's a bit slicker and less ad hungry than Google, but obviously the search engine of OpenAI won't be as good as Google. So, more in-depth research still needs to be there for me. This is still good for quick question and answer things about like a tool, a code snippet, medicine, or something along those lines. There's also the agent mode that can do stuff for you, but it's pretty slow, and it isn't something that I'd recommend anyone to use it for. Adding products to a shopping cart is not a good tutorial for such stuff. So, yeah, I've tested it. I wouldn't recommend you to use it, and it's also only available on the Pro plan. So, yeah, it's nothing extraordinary. I mean, even they didn't have any example for it, apart from adding products to cart. Who even does that? I may get it for doing data entry, but that isn't as good either. Anyway, one more thing is that it can do inline edits. This feature doesn't seem to be available for me yet, but it can apparently help you write emails, and keep sessions bifurcated, but it seems to not have it at all. But I may be wrong. Dia has it on the face, but this doesn't have that, which is interesting. And it makes sense because it is fully governed by your ChatGPT account and nothing else. Also, they seem to have fully removed the Chromium internal settings page, and the inspect element of pages also open like a pop-up, and you can't really fix this via any option that I can see. So,
जो भी थिंकिंग प्रोसेस है वो यहाँ पे दिखेगा और आउटपुट यहाँ पे. I should ask about the dietary restriction first, as the user explicitly mentioned that I shouldn't ask other question unless necessary. So I will ask about allergic preference and whether they are vegetarian. I will keep the tone friendly and casual, and maybe add some example of clarity. No wave lookup needed. Okay. Dietary restriction and preferences. ChatGPT. Okay. Nice.